The last day, a random guy comes up to your front door, rings the doorbell, you open for some reason, and he says you trailer park trash. You're poor because your mindset's poor. You're poor because you come from a family of poorness. You're poor because you don't read, you don't listen, and you don't take action. All you need to do is go into your backyard, take 10 paces to the south, 3 paces to the east, stop being lazy, you bleepity bleep, grab your shovel, dig 2 feet into the ground, locate the suitcase, take it out the ground, and inside is $1 million cash. You are now listening to the authentic male perspective on dating and relationships. What is he thinking?
And now, without further ado, your host, Alexander B. Stevens.
Women like to lead by committee, and they're having difficulty building their shelter because women just don't have the hand strength to build infrastructure like men do and things of that nature. So I kind of get what he's getting at. I don't know how productive it is to divide the genders like that or whatever.
Right.
In a perfect situation, we both make each other better, so we're better together than apart.
Right.
And I feel like he does say that, but anytime a woman gets a little bit too uppity or whatnot, he's like, hey, men built the world and we don't really need you outside of reproduction. But without us, you're done for. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. It would suck without ladies for reproductive matters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I look at myself and I'm like, when the stuff hits the fan, I get down to work.
Yeah.
I set out a plan and I'm going to survive.
Yes.
It's not going to be no, I hope, or I feel like something. No, this is the plan. Work it. You're going to survive.
I completely agree with you. We're definitely on the same page with that one. What else does Kevin say? Kevin says dating is dumb because usually dating is done unintentionally. And really, there's only so much you can truly learn with somebody that you don't live with. So I guess him thinking that dating is dumb, well, the way that people date in 2022 is kind of dumb. I would agree with that. But the whole institution of dating is trash and should be done away with. Sometimes it almost seems like he's saying that people really shouldn't date, period. And I don't know about that. I mean, he's right saying that you won't learn certain things until you marry somebody or live with them. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I feel like intentional dating isn't dumb if you're actually doing what you said earlier. You're vetting the girl, putting her through different situations. She's doing the same to you. Y'all having deep conversations. Like, that isn't dumb. But this hookup culture is dumb. This dating with no purpose and no direction is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, 80% of the dating going on now is dumb. So I mostly agree with them on this.
Yeah.
But I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, purposeless and non-intentional dating and relationship, I think is pretty useless because you're essentially just getting a hookup partner that's consistent or partners. And that's all it really is. If you have no purpose behind it or no intention behind it, it's just, hey, I'm trying to have me a little chick that I know I can smash every couple days, every couple weeks, and it's consistent. Boom, boom, boom. I'm not out here hunting for new stuff. I know I got something right now. I might spend a little money on her here and there. She might spend some money on me. We might get into it. I might hurt her feelings. She might try to come at me. We might be at each other's throat.
Yeah.
Get mad, make up, have sex again.
Repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of pointless and purposeless and repetitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you on that. All right, the last Kevin Samuels talking point that I want to bring up in this episode is something he tells the women that they don't really like hearing, is that he tells women, do not go out with a man on a third date. Unless after the date you're willing to go back to his place for a nightcap that ends with some back room under the covers horizontal dance moves, if you know what I mean. Unless you're going Dutch on these dates. But if he's paying for these dates, you shouldn't make it to a third date unless you're ready to go to the bedroom. Men are tired of being used. What are your thoughts?
I agree. That's happened to me a time or two in my past.
That you got used, or they let you roll in the hay with them? Both.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes even sooner than the third date. But I got lucky those times. But yeah, I mean, because it costs a lot of money. You don't really know, from our perspective as a man, it costs money. You don't really know if she's truly into you or not. And by that third date, if you get some, you know, at least she's got some level of interest in you for you to get the goodies.
Yeah. Season 1, I basically told women that starting with date number 3, you must do something to show you are invested in this man and you truly are interested. Now, I didn't necessarily say that they needed to sleep with him, but you need to do something. You need to pay for a date. You You need to cook for them. Maybe you don't go all the way to home base. Maybe you stop at third base. You need to do something out of the ordinary that shows that, yes, you really like this man, and yes, you're interested in the things going forward.
Right.
And if you don't expect guys to hang around, because we are men. We're supposed to lead. We're supposed to instigate. We understand that, but we're only going to do so much without getting any kind of return on our investment and our time before we move on to other options. Would you agree with that?
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Absolutely agree. 100%. Got to give something.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Kevin's saying it in a more crude way, in a more stringent way, but it's kind of a similar point. So,
right.
Of course, I agree with myself. So, yeah. I would like for you to tell me and my audience your opinion on why you think Kevin Samuels is so controversial. Give me a couple reasons. And is there anything he can do about that? Or is there anything that the women should change so they accept his message better? Or what? What are your thoughts on that?
I think he's so controversial because he really is getting to the root of our problems. He dissects the issues at a level that I believe that a lot of us don't really even intellectually go when it comes to relationships. I mean, he dissects the problem down to a freaking, oh my God, like it's a super mathematical formula. I mean, he goes down to the root causes. And I think once you really dig into some things like that, it reveals hurt and pain. And I believe he hit a lot of hurt and pain that people don't like and that is forcing them to have to speak with their family about. So his ability to dissect it so deep, it's like you have a sword that, like, let's say you get cut or something on your body and you feel it down to your bones. That's where he's going.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
I hear you on that. So do you think he should change his tone or his approach, or should he keep everything the same and people that want the knowledge will accept it and people that want to be hard-headed will knock their heads up against the wall?
I think he should keep it. I mean, he says it all the time. He says that he matches your energy. So if the person that he's on the phone with having a conversation with, if they're like you and I, he's going to match our energy. If they're coming at him in an aggressive stance, he comes at them in an aggressive stance. I think that's perfectly fine. It's like, if you don't want to be disrespected, don't disrespect him. If you want to have a nice conversation, he'll have a nice conversation.
I hear you. I used to call myself back in my younger days an ampliphytic mirror. Maybe I was making up words back in the day, but I amplify and mirror whatever you give to me. If you invite me to a party that sucks, I might make it worse. If you invite me to a party that's good, I'm going to make it better. If you come at me with attitude, I'm going to come at you with twice as much. I'm going to talk about you so bad that you're going to be saying in the shower, balled up in a ball, rocking back and forth, crying and wondering why your mother had you. So that's what I used. That was more immature, younger Alexander Stevens, but that's what I used to say about myself. So Kevin kind of is the same way, kind of reflects energy. And like you said, if you don't want to be disrespected, don't be disrespectful.
Right. Exactly.
Anyway, I appreciate you taking time out to talk with me and my audience today about Kevin Samuels and break down some of his top talking points.
Absolutely, Alexander.
Let's tie everything together. Final question of the Kevin Samuels Examined series. Give me a synopsis of your opinion of Kevin Samuels and his talking points. Should women listen to him? Should they not? Is the controversy warranted? Is it not? Give me a 2-minute synopsis of Kevin Samuels and how you think women should deal with him and handle him.
I think women should listen to him because over the last year and a half, he's taken us from different points, from start at point A all the way to point Z, on different ways to handle relationships. I think the root of what he wants to do is he wants to truly try to reform Black family, Black relationships. And as an extension, when he has his other viewers of non-Black viewers, that extends out to them as well. I think ultimately he's trying to get to the root causes and the root problems and say, okay, the problem is this. This is a painful problem. But if we're ever going to be able to move forward as a community, not as a bunch of individuals, but as a community, the community will only grow from that small family unit.
Yes.
And once that small family unit gets strong, then it will expand. And once it expands, that's when you start growing what he likes to talk about, generational wealth, power, influence. That's how you're going to correct and make stronger the community. But it's all going to start with the formation of the family, with the recreating, restructuring, reimagining the way our family structure can be so that it is one that is conducive to success and moving forward and getting out of this stagnant place that we're currently in.
Yeah.
Again, the fit, feminine, friendly, submissive, cooperative, childless, all matters. All of that will be able to make a family flow, make a family be a structure so that it can go on for a long period of time. And then you can create those values that you can instill in your children. And once you're teaching them right, then they can teach their children. And once again, that small family unit will continue to grow and grow and grow, thus making not only your family, your neighborhoods, and then your communities and your cities, and then your states, and then your nation more powerful.
Yep, definitely. I hear you on that. What's my synopsis on Kevin Samuels? I pretty much, personally, I agree with 75 to 80% of what he says. I think, is he on YouTube to make money? Yes, but he's also trying to help American culture and his community as well. So 2 birds with 1 stone.
Right.
Could he do some things differently or better, or his tone sometimes, or some of the ways he treats some people, could it be better? I suppose. Nobody's perfect, but I feel like the message is the most important thing. For example, let's say you are a single parent of 3 and you are collecting welfare, you're poor. Some of your bills are past due and your rent's late. You feel like, and you always say to yourself, that if you could just come into some money, all your problems would be solved. Let's say one day you get a text message from a random number saying, "Hey, you lazy bum, why don't you go into your backyard and dig up that buried treasure?" The next day you get a letter in the mail saying, "If you didn't spend all your time being a scumbag, scamming welfare, you could just go into your backyard and get rich." The next day you get a phone call. The guy cusses you, saying, "Listen, you lazy piece of S. Go into your backyard with your shovel, dig up this buried treasure, and all your problems will be solved." The last day, a random guy comes up to your front door, rings the doorbell, you open for some reason, and he says you trailer park trash. You're poor because your mindset's poor. You're poor because you come from a family of poorness. You're poor because you don't read, you don't listen, and you don't take action. All you need to do is go into your backyard, take 10 paces to the south, 3 paces to the east. Stop being lazy. You bleepity bleep. Grab your shovel, dig 2 feet into the ground, locate the suitcase, take it out the ground, and inside is $1 million cash. Now, if you're this poor single parent, would it be smart for you to never pick up a shovel, never go into your backyard, never try to dig up this money because you didn't like the way the message was delivered, because the tone was off, because he was too mean? Even though the solution to all your problems is in your backyard? Huh? Or would it be smart to overlook the tone if the tone rubs you the wrong way? Overlook this part if it rubs you the wrong way. Pay attention to the overall message that he's trying to give you. Take advantage of that and allow him and that message and that advice to improve your life. Like, which way is the better way to go? You know, are you too prideful to go back there because he was yelling at you? Or are you going to take the good advice and improve your life? So I don't know if that's the best analogy, but that's kind of an analogy I would think of when it comes to Kevin Samuels, because he can come off abrasive and arrogant sometimes. But if you get beyond that and listen to the actual message, know that A, it's not just him talking, but it's most men agreeing with most of the things he says, but we're just not allowed to say it in this culture. And B, it'll actually improve and help your life if you actually try the advice. What you've been doing doesn't work. You're 30, 35, 40, 45. You're not close to getting married. Your relationship history is trash. So why not try something different if what you've been trying doesn't work?